How is everybody doing this evening? Yeah, it is cold out there. I gotta tell you, if I had known I had to come out in 15-degree weather, I would ask for more money. I'm not gonna lie. Because people that look like me, we don't like winter, we just deal with it. But speaking of winter though, yeah, welcome to the Cool Runnings movie screening and everything. And you know, this is a classic and I really like this movie because you know it has to deal with 4 Jamaican sprinters that aren't very good and they decide to change things up and get into a winter death sled. It's kind of like the universe is saying, hey, your running sucks, but how about flying across the ice at 90 miles an hour? And you know, my thing is, what do these guys know about ice and winter sports, right? They're Jamaican. I mean, what is Jamaica known for? The beaches and tourism, reggae, Bob Marley, weed. But you know, this movie completely ignores all that, and they put 4 helmets on these guys, and we all pray that they don't die in their training. But you know what though? They persevere. They actually make it to the Olympics, right? But they don't get the medal, but they do get the respect, right? It's kind of like Olympic code for, we shouldn't have put you guys through that, but it was fun as hell to watch. So now we are in January 2026. Happy New Year, everybody. We made it, right? I'm starting to wonder, though, seeing as how we only got 1 week of January left, are we still in the whole New Year, New Me phase, or are we about ready to revert back to same shit, different day? Because, you know, those resolutions, they mess up everybody, right? Because the resolutions, they suck. I mean, in my opinion, what is a resolution? Well, I think it's a lie you tell yourself every December that you're going to renege on before the first week of February. And as I said before, I do not like resolutions, but I damn sure like to make fun of people that do. I remember just last year at work, I was hanging out in the break room and a couple guys came through and I was like, there's Bob. I'm going to fuck with Bob today. And so I was like, hey Bob, I thought you said you were going to lose 30 pounds this year. And Bob looks at me and goes, first of all, Will, screw you. And I did lose the weight. Now, I gained it all back, but I did lose the weight. Let me tell you how I did it. I was eating 22 calories a day, drinking nothing but water. And if I stood up too fast, I'd pass out. But once I regained consciousness, I was back on my day and my diet. And so, Will, I've got a resolution for you. How about next year, you mind your business? Which I did, and I was like, yeah, whatever, Bob. But, so, yeah, like I said, we're in 2026, and I can't lie. I honestly think that I probably had the worst New Year's Day that anybody could have. My father died on New Year's Day. This is not a lie. No joke. Yeah, my father died on New Year's Day, and my wife and the kids, we just got back from the funeral in Florida on Sunday. And, you know, my family is devastated. Obviously, me and my 6 other siblings, you know, we lost our dad, and my mom is now a widow. But I can't lie. I'm a little jealous of my dad for dying on the first day of 2026 because he left us to deal with the rest of the shit in this country. So now I'm like, I love you, Dad, but damn you, Dad. But you know what, though? I really did love that, man. And like a lot of kids, you know, I looked up to my dad when I was growing up because he was like Superman. He was big and strong, and I wanted to be just like him, you know? But my dad, he had different plans. My dad didn't want me to be anything like him. And let me tell you how he motivated me to not be like him. He hated on every damn accomplishment I've ever had in my life. Yeah, when I graduated from high school, talking to my class, my dad was like, what you gonna do next? And so then I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna follow my dad's footsteps. I'm gonna go into the Air Force. I served 20 years, I did 5 tours in the Middle East. I came back with a chest full of medals, not a scratch on me. At my retirement ceremony, you know what my dad said to me? You're 39 years old, get another job. Even graduating from college 4 times, my dad was not impressed. He's like, oh, so you think you're smart now? But when he really got me was about 5 years ago. I was having a conversation with my dad, right? And I told him, you know what? I got an urge to do some comedy. I wrote down some jokes I like, and I went to an open mic. And I got on that stage, and people laughed at what I said. I think I'm going to really give comedy a shot. And my dad was like, you know what, son? You really need to work hard at comedy because I don't think you're very funny. But you know what, though? I took it on the chin, and I kept going because I am 53 years old. I am a member of Generation X. Any other Generation Xers in the audience? Yeah. And you remember in the 80s, what was the nickname they had for us? Latchkey kids, right? Yep. And if that same scenario was in 2026, they would just call CPS. Because our parents left us alone all day, every day. And you know, the kids now, they freak out when you take the phone away from them or when the Wi-Fi or the Bluetooth goes out. When I was 11, my question today is, where the fuck are my parents? So I am married, but anybody else in the audience married? Yeah? How long have you been married?
Almost 10 years.
Awesome. What about you two?
3 years.
All right. Well, I just want to tell you guys that I have been happily married since 1999.
Woo.
To a bunch of different people. Yeah, I was on a bad run there for a minute. I mean, the county, they stopped issuing me a marriage license. They gave me a punch card. I'm looking at this. I'm like, so is it true that with my next marriage, I'm going to get a free latte? But you know what, though, my friends, those fuckers right there, when I announced that I was going to get married for the 4th time, my friends, they didn't congratulate me. They staged an intervention. Yeah, they told me that I was going to go over to my buddy's house and we're going to have pizza and play poker and drinks and all that. And I get there and everybody's sitting around a dining room table and the light looked just like this. And my best friend stands up and he looks at me, he's like, well, it has come to our attention that you're getting ready to get married again. And I was like, of course I am. You saw the Facebook post, you saw the bling on the ring? Yeah. And then another buddy of mine stands up and he goes, well, the only thing that we're really concerned about is that, did you tell your fiance what happened to the others? By now, I'm pissed. I'm like, what do you mean what happened to the others? We got divorced. Why are you guys acting like I got 3 ex-wives buried in my backyard? But you know, my wife, she's sitting in the back. She's great, awesome. We're going on 9 years together. And I love her a lot. She's definitely my soulmate and my life partner. But you know what? Just like any type of relationship, you know, you go through the ups and downs. And sometimes we argue and sometimes we resolve it. And sometimes we don't, right? Well, my thing about my wife is that when we get into a disagreement and we don't resolve it, you know, I find out she takes it out on me in the grocery list. Let me explain. When my wife and I were good to go, and I go grocery shopping every Sunday, and I look at the grocery list, and it's got things on there like milk, egg, cheese, butter, you know, might be some candles on there, some roses, red wine, and I'm thinking, somebody's getting laid tonight, right? But if we got an issue that we haven't resolved, I'll look at the same list, and it'll say something like milk, egg, cheese, butter, razor blades, lemon juice, zip ties. I'm looking at the list and I'm like, hey babe, after I go grocery shopping, I'm gonna go and hang out with the boys. And my wife will be like, okay, well, when you coming back? And I say, oh, in about a week. I gotta wait till you stop, giving me all these passive aggressive grocery lists. But you know, it is crazy though in 2026 how racism, you know, especially on the internet, it used to be something that was anonymous, right? You never knew who was going to be saying this stuff to you. But now, nobody cares anymore. There's no shame. It's now, the racist you know is Chad. He works in accounting. He's been to your last 3 Memorial Day barbecues, and he was a groomsman in your wedding. And it's crazy because, like the typical racist in 2026, you know, when you bring this stuff to their attention, they always say, well, you're really going to unfriend me because I have a difference of opinion. No, I'm going to unfriend you because your difference of opinion is fucking racist. But I got a couple announcements for you guys. First of all, stick around to the end of the movie and find out if you got the lucky egg. Obviously, you guys know what that's about. Also, true fact is that the Jamaicans actually made it into the Winter Olympics again, so that's awesome, right? Yeah. And make sure you follow Vision 2 Entertainment on all social media platforms to find out about upcoming shows. And also, please follow me, Will Frank Comedy, on all platforms because I really need some fans. Thank you.